Happy New Year's Eve, everybody. Just want to take a moment, as we all do, towards the end of the year, getting ready to go into a new year, reflecting on, internal questions about who are we, who do we want to be. And as I was in deep prayer last night and just really seeking God, for what's around the corner for me, some key questions came to my mind. And I think they may be relevant, not just to me, but to anybody who would apply them. The questions were, who are you? How do you behave, and why do you react the way that you do in certain situations? What do you want to work on, and where do you want to be a year from now? And I think what I realized as I was in prayer, just reflecting on my personal reactions and responses and behaviors and things that I do, is that I realized a lot of what we do is based in fear. A lot of our behaviors are fear based, and our responses and reactions to things are because of those core fears and those triggers, and the ways that we respond will cause other people to then react in different ways. So as I had just kind of thought about in the past, if a core fear of mine had been triggered, my initial response would be to withdraw. I would self-isolate. I would shut down. I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to have conversations. I just wanted to be left alone in a place where I felt safe all by myself. For other people, it may be like a trigger that gets hit and then they respond with anger, and they are immediately just, this nasty, well, this is how I feel and you're going to hear about it kind of thing. For other people, it may be control, or they feel like they just need to control everything now because this fear has been triggered and they are afraid of losing something, or afraid of being disappointed, or afraid of losing someone they love, or just not having what they need. So I think that it's relevant, as we're going into 2025, to think about what our core fears are and how we are responding when those core fears are triggered. And then how can we improve, our behaviors and our responses? So for me, I really worked on changing my reaction. If my fear was triggered and I wanted to withdraw, I worked on staying in the conversation. I worked on staying in a place where I could continue to communicate with someone who maybe had tried to hurt me, or I was sensing had tried to hurt me, to try to have open dialogue and communication, to where now maybe I can understand a little bit deeper that wasn't that person's intentions, or that maybe I just misunderstood something. So as I've worked on developing that part in my character, my responses are changing, and I see where now I'm able to have some hard conversations, and I'm able to sit and listen to somebody who I may feel uncomfortable with. And I think that's a great point, for people who are in situations where they feel like they have to have this reaction or this immediate response when their fears are triggered, to really think about what those triggers are, what those reactions are, what those behaviors are that follow. Because if you allow fear to rule your life, and you will allow these reactions to overtake your mind and your body, even in the responses that you're having, you're not in control of yourself. And what does that mean for you? Where are you going to be a year from now? Where are your relationships going to be? And you don't have control. Now, I will say, for the people who are like, well, I don't have any fears and I'm just fine and I can say what I need to say and I can react the way I need to react and I'm self-controlled and I'm all these things, I want you to consider if maybe you are operating in a spirit of pride, that it could be a self-sufficiency where you don't have fears because you think you're enough and you think you're more than enough, and that's just fine. Take a deep look, because pride is what comes before a fall. So we have to find what we're rooted in. We have to find what we're established in. We have to walk out the calling that we have on our lives to live in peace and in love and in unity and harmony with others. And I think that for too many people, it's just become too easy to cut people out of our lives. And it's become even a trend in the church where if you don't like what somebody has to say, you just end that relationship and you don't work through it, and you don't try to figure out what they meant or how they meant it. And it's sad. It's really sad. It has literally broken me this year. And learning from those situations, I think that we can all take a lesson from it in just being more mindful of the fear that tries to consume us and not allowing those fears to dominate our behaviors and our responses and our reactions to things. So I hope that, 2025 is a great year of growth for you. I pray that going into the new year, you're able to reflect on becoming a better version of yourself and presenting that to the people around you and being able to have healthier and more fulfilled relationships. So God bless you guys. I hope you have a great and happy New Year's.